Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boylon here, and welcome to another video. Also, officially happy 4th of July for you Americans out there. So today we're going to be talking about Community Manager Archangel. Okay, and before, I'm going to put a disclaimer out before I start the video, is this is not in any way, shape, or form an attempt to bully him that some people might accuse me of. He was on Discord and a little bit on Reddit last night for about 3 hours, I think, on Sunday night, responding to a handful of comments, and they were mixed, to say the least. I want to give him props for showing up and responding to them. I know that he probably doesn't have a very good opinion of me right now, and he may not after this either. However, I think it's worth covering because, and I want to say right now, if this was Cerebro, I would have done the exact same thing. So everyone's fair game. He does, in some way, he definitely represents Scopely's interests. So I need to cover these. A lot of these are related to the recent outrage of the Mighty Thor event still, and his responses to that, and how he feels about some other things. And so I want to discuss that. I want to first start here, though, on this Reddit post. You guys might have noticed this if you watched my video from the other day. Then I kind of touched on this one here. So this one now has 2,300 upvotes, up from about 2,000 upvotes when I checked on it last for my previous video. So give everyone the rewards. There's tons of, Reddit rewards. Upvote if you agree. Please see the reaction unity that the community has on this. Everyone who received the full rewards on accident due to the mistake that Scopely made just received a massive boost over everyone who didn't. The calendar is nice, but those of us who are in the middle to late game accounts are taking a huge loss not getting the teal mats and shards for Jane Foster and Dazzler. It's not fair for the people who didn't receive them at all, because that's well over hundreds of hours of mats for free. Don't roll back anyone's account, it's not their fault, just give it to everyone. I'm 100% sure the wider community would be super grateful and would be seen as a big positive, as well as helping to restore the community faith and positivity that has been falling as of late. Maybe I'm wrong thinking this way, but even my friends who did receive this feel this way. I'm not new. But I'm also not a full-on vet, so keep that in mind. And I want to say, just to remind people, that my solutions, my suggestions were, I would love to get, the whole 50k milestone complete. I think at this stage of the game, I think that it's too late to do that. I don't think that that's a very likely outcome here. I did suggest, however, 20,000 Mjolnir fragments, because that would help a lot of us, not have to stress out about all of the events, especially the 10,000 final event items, so that, we probably would clear the 50,000 milestone. And the main issue is that normally by the end of the month, you don't normally get too much extra. Normally it's like just a slim, razor thin margin, of completing it post 50k. So, if you missed one thing at all, you're very likely not to get the 50k. And while the 50k isn't meant to be got for everyone, it's really not fair in the context for those who got it for free. So I'm going to touch on that. And then there was a post, a response to this one here on Community Manager Archangel as of recording a few hours ago. My apologies to everyone that I haven't been on here. I can only be at one place at a time. I just got done with being with Discord for the last couple of hours, and we'll cover that after this. I would have been on sooner, but I had to move my wife to another place to live. I wish I could have been on here. I'd check out the hotel next door, temp home to my apartment's ready. It's okay, so we'll skip through this a little bit. Discord message was a little out, so, okay, it's been almost 3... Okay, I don't know. We'll skip to here. So a couple things before I part. I want to apologize to all of you who got the Agatha message. It made me feel so bad when I found out about the unintended message. I truly am sorry if it made you feel like you were being called a cheater. That was not what anyone at the HQ thought of you. We know the 2 bugs of this Friday was on us, not you. In no way did we want to blame you people for spending money. Again, I'm so sorry for that message. Secondly, some may have taken my very long conversation about Bulgaria. We'll get to this one because I think this is my other screenshots that I have. I understand that so many are frustrated. I clearly said that as a player, I never got angry with these bugs, but that's just me, not you. I understand other people feel differently. My comment about first world problems, we'll get to this one too. That was bizarre. Was directed at people who got so angry that they think it's okay to use hateful speech and vulgarity at other people just because they are angry. We need to respect each other. I hope everyone can agree on that point. And finally, I've heard a lot of feedback. I'll take it back to the devs on Wednesday. So we now know we're not going to hear anything back until Wednesday, not Tuesday, which is also the date of the Rogue Famine event. So that's great. and sarcasm. I heard the feedback of give everyone the milestones. I've also heard making the milestones easier so it's more free-to-play friendly. I'll take this feedback back to the devs. Okay, and we're gonna there's another one, but before we touch on that one, we're gonna jump ahead to some of the Discord posts. So in most cases there is the original reply above, and then in some cases there isn't, because I think that maybe the Discord mods were going around muting people or temp banning people. So in that instance I couldn't find the original post that went along with it. In most instances it's self-explanatory, but in some cases it's a bit weird. So I never said, probably best not to say things like that. I guess it was something that was previously said by Archangel. I never said alliances who can't get the bracelets suck. My comment was on hoarding the cards. I was asked if they should hoard the cards, and I said the event is easier than that original way that it was. That was true. The event was easier, just not for individuals who had alliances that struggle in raids. I also said that you shouldn't hoard if your alliance is good. If your alliance sucks, then hoard. That's very different from the narrative of your alliance sucks if you can't get the bracelet. So, spinning what he said a little bit here, that was Ace of Raids. We're largely over that now. But it was a really weird thing to say. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so, okay, so we have this one here. Everyone vilifies Scope. Oh, let's zoom in a little bit. Everyone vilifies Scopely. I can tell you from firsthand seeing it, they're actually pretty cool. You do realize most of your complaints are the direct causes of COVID. I'm 100% serious. My first week, Cerebro was sick, and he had to train me over Zoom. The second week, he trained me in person. We got so much more accomplished the second week of working in person together. It'll get better once more people start working in person, blah, 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 blah. Regardless, as a player, I'm stoked for what's about to come. OMG, the Horseman teams make me drool, Homer Simpson style. So he officially knows all the Horseman teams. No surprise there. I'm not really sure at this stage of the game that you can really blame COVID for business practices almost 2.5 years on. I think that, that your company should have been able to adapt to this, and if you can't, then you should have gone bust. So, not sure where this is going. He actually does blame COVID a couple of times, especially some extra ones near the end. I can't really see that being a big excuse for why there's been a lot of problems in the company, in the game over the last while. Maybe in the beginning, but not so much now. So, moving on to number 3. And yes, the problems is if you just add more spots, then the Kraken alliances will destroy content too fast. So I think this is in relation to we were talking about maybe having more than 24 alliance members and whether or not that's possible. But I definitely brought that up, and I plan to bring a lot of ideas up for alliance help. It'll take time though, but I want alliances to be happy. Next one. Can we all get the Summer of Thunder rewards? Let me shake my 8-ball. It says no, but I'll pass along that you and everyone else wants it. I personally don't want it because I want to play the event and earn it. Great, here comes the rocks for saying that. You fucking bet they will. Because I think that's an absolute load of garbage. Just because we want the rewards that everyone else got doesn't mean we don't want to do the events, because I'll fucking do all of the other events that come this month. It's not about that. It's about making sure that people are on a level playing field. And it's not fair that other people get it right away with a 31-day advance. It's just not fair. All right? So there's not much more to say there. All right, so 100% agree. I mean, Archangel says something more than there's an issue, so talks about that. To be serious about that, though, is Cerebro really doesn't have the time. OMG, watching him the past month and all the stuff he has to do. I'm trying to take as much as I can off his plate. Y'all remember that Wolverine pick? I don't remember this Wolverine picture. I remember as a player having a nerdgasm seeing that teaser, and he looks so cool. He wants to do things like that more often. He's actually very creative. Now that I'm here, hopefully we'll be able to do more stuff like that. I have no idea what this is about. Maybe this was a strike time thing. I kind of vaguely remember something there. All right, next we have, so you can see here that it says message cannot be loaded. So I don't know why that's the case. I tried to get the replies in some instances, but I couldn't find it. I don't know if, again, they were muted or they were banned or temp banned or something on the Discord. Scopely is very big about preventing employee burnout and respecting their real-life time. I was told to enjoy the weekend and stay away, but it bothers me how y'all feel right now, so I want to be here with all of you. I would have been here sooner, but I had to move. All right, this is a pretty big one here. You get a lot of from this Ziggy. So Ziggy got a lot of responses from Archangel. Uh, is this you after this week? Yeah, so he posted a photo. So actually, no, I worked at, so he talks about being a GameStop manager for 15 years. So that's cool. It comes from retail. So don't let anyone tell you that you can't go from retail to being a mobile game community manager or any community manager in general. So that's good to know as well. I will say that Reddit can be really bad, but I'm okay with people being, yeah. So I'll admit that like people going around on Reddit saying like, fuck you, and you know, like telling everyone to fuck off and die and things like that is really not helpful. And it's not going to get us anywhere. You know, like, I don't post like that. You shouldn't post like that. It really doesn't go anywhere. I will say the most stressful moment was seeing everyone's reaction to the infamous Tawna screenshot. That had me stressed for days because it prevented me from doing my job. I could have helped everyone with raises that week, but no one wanted to talk to me. That was really frustrating and lots of depressed snaps. So, you know what also frustrated me, actually, was Archangel going on to Mr. Hargrave's Twitch and, I don't know, talking shit about how he thought he knew where this was coming, that Tawna leaked it to me, which is absolutely not true. And to this day, Archangel still hasn't retracted that or come and told me or, you know, apologize for anything suggesting that that was the case. So, hey-oh, you know, he can go and post on his off time in other people's Twitch streams, so that's okay. The second most stressful moment was when that stupid Agatha message went out. I wish y'all could have seen the notifications go off like a machine gun on my computer. Hundreds of FUs. I spend money and you call me a cheater, blah, 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 blah. OMG, you know, crazy, crazy stuff, right? And that was, you know, the Agatha message was crazy. It was weird. I think they kind of addressed that one, but yeah, it was nuts. Let's move on to the next one. Is the Make Good calendar just named wrong? So this is to do with the compensation calendar that we received in the game that you guys have seen, I'm sure. So yeah, that's the Make Good. Originally, it was going to be Mighty Thor at the end, but I recommended Agatha since many free-to-play needed just 20 to 30 shards to unlock her. I polled some players and they agreed with me that Agatha over Mighty Thor. First of all, I'd like to know, who were these players that were being polled? Also, why would you just send out Agatha shards for something that was related to a Mighty Thor event? It just doesn't really make sense to me. First of all, how about you send 100 Mighty Thor shards to everyone because of the fuck up and everyone can get them unlocked? That'd be great. Thank you. Let's move on to the next one. Archangel, if you wanted to make the situation right, what you should have done was comped everyone 5 to 10k points for Summer of Thunder. So, I said in my video 10 to 20k. I'm making that recommendation. That's all I can say is I'll recommend it. But, you know, we saw from the previous photo that it's probably unlikely. In this one, again, could not be loaded. No one called them cheaters. I think this is in relation to the Agatha message. The message wasn't related to the offer, but they will receive it next week or the week after. And I think this is related to some rewards that people are missing. All right, and I think I have an idea of how to make RTA kind of fun and interesting. Don't shoot me, but I like RTA, and I hate Blitz. Wow, so Archangel likes RTA. You know, I used to like RTA back in the day, and then I realized that leagues were never coming, and they weren't really going to be able to fix it, and then I kind of lost interest. So you can only say so much. I understand that. You're the new guy and active, so people throw crap at you more easily. I don't, you know, and it goes on. I don't think so, but I'll make recommendations. I believe this was relations, again, to the Summer of Thunder event. I wish I could actually go back and get all of that. Again, another message cannot be loaded. We need more of it, and we know that. We have to get more people. Also, these crazy things are happening, like stuff in the inbox causing bugs. We can't test that. Well, we can, but I think you know what I mean. Also, I'm not an expert on that area. I don't think we do know what you mean. What, you know, why do bugs happen? You know, this reminds me of Goldgate, actually, because that was related to inbox mail as well. And that just caused chaos. Going on, Archangel, I'm worried about the timing of everything. Known more than a few that losing time or taking time off. This is related to, I believe, you know, the Scourge events and things that are happening in the game right now and the chaos. Funny thing is, my cluster doesn't have room for anyone. Don't believe the loudest voices every time, bro. He talks like this a lot, actually. Uses bro, dude. I think it's super unprofessional, whether you're on the clock or off the clock. I don't know. I really hate it when people say that to me. So here is the thing. Games change and, you know, not everyone is going to like it. This game used to be get these characters and get this legendary. I like the apocalypse and monthly events better myself. But take people like Philosopher, he doesn't like that he can't predict the future anymore with the game. So his joy has gone down. It's the way of games when they shift. But dude, after seeing the Horseman teams, oh my god, I'm drolling. So I don't know how. I don't know Philosopher personally, so I can't say to that. This has nothing to do with me and not liking the month-long events. I actually like Scourge events, but I don't like the month-long events. I think I've made that clear. And moving on to the next one, I think Scopely should have just done rollbacks on Thursday when it all happened. I agree. They do when there are too many people who were affected. This wasn't the case. Plus, if they did, think of all the wars that would have been screwed up. My alliance barely won by 20 points and got Platinum 3. Imagine if the rollback happened and we couldn't get on and catch up and ended up losing then. I don't think this has ever been like I'm sure that happened when they did the rollback for Goldgate, right? Like there's almost like no time where there's no wars going on. So like I'm surprised this was even mentioned at all. There really should have been a rollback for those affected, and the fact that they won't tell us how many people were affected, I can't really trust them to that it was only a small amount of people as they quote it. This is screenshot 15A, because we need to read this before we get to the next one. Archangel, it's great to see you interacting with the community. It's a nice change of pace, but I think the point of the community's concern with the Welcome Commander calendar is that it has nothing to do with any of the Jane's Month milestone. I want to say also myself that the Welcome Commander is such a passive-aggressive gaslighting on that, because they could have named it properly, like Mighty Thor Comp or something, but no, they went with that. Players unintentionally received a 4-star Jane, dark promo creds, teal gear pieces, and fully crafted teal gear. Where are any of those in the calendar? Even a fraction of what was in the milestone being in the calendar would be a step in the right direction. Scopely has made resources like T-Force training masks so hard to come by that when a good amount is thrown our way for free, they expect players to say, "Yay, this is what we wanted." And then all is well until the next big issue. Agatha shards were probably just thrown in there because it's what the community has been needing for weeks. It just seems like this was not the solution. And then Archangel says, unfortunately, there just wasn't going to be a good solution. Giving everyone the milestones was never on the table. Okay, so he said it officially. It's not on the table, so it's not going to happen. So we can't get the milestone completed. That was a bit of a pipe dream, I think, for some people as well anyways. So what can we get? Because we're not done. We're not finished. I don't have to be an employee to see that. I knew as soon as I heard it, it wasn't a big enough amount of people that it would be all the milestones to everyone. But I will recommend that, and they'll give some of the points, and maybe they'll help. So no guarantee here. Once again, we don't know how many people are affected. We know that 3,500 people were affected by the Dazzler milestone, and so I want to wager that at least 1,000 people were affected by the Mighty Thor, maybe more. But since he won't give us any numbers, it's nobody knows. And then we talk about review bombing. Please don't review bomb us. It doesn't help anything. Give it a 4 and write an actual review if you have to. LOL. Now, if you want to throw the 5 on there because of me, I'd be grateful, but I doubt I have that much cred yet. All right, Apocalypse idea equals every bit of the... every bit of the execution. Horseshit. Just want to avoid that one out. The funny thing is, bro, that I find the month-long events much less burnout than the old events. I hate Blitz, so these new events I can do when I get time each day. Also, I love the raid sim. It's amazing in Greek. I don't have to remind my alliance to hit the great Greeks anymore. We just 100% it now with no management. I'll be glad once the improvements come and we can use it on more nodes in Doom 2. That remains to be seen. We'll talk about that at another time. Right now, you can use it on Web Warriors, not Boss, Mystic, not Boss. You can do Mystic Bosses and Web Warriors on Boss, actually, by the way. I have a video coming out on raid simming tomorrow, so look out for that. Oh, maybe not tomorrow, because it's Scourge stuff. It'll be coming soon. And that's it for Doom 2, unless it's a cleanup and it's the last node. But seriously, the streak and the raid sim saved me so much time on the stuff I didn't want to do, so I can focus more on planning and Cosmic Crucible. Does Scopely know a bunch of people quit? Of course, a lot quit all the time. Don't confuse the people who are the loudest as being the majority. Remember, I've never seen this exact number, but the vast majority of players don't look at social media for the game. So all of this is unaware to them. They are happy with, ooh, look at this extra calendar. Thank you, Marvel. So, on this point, I'm not sure. I think a lot of people do, actually, especially in Marvel Strike Force. I think they do, at the very least, use Discord. Not everyone. I'm not saying... I think there's... I'm not going to put a number to it, really, but, I wouldn't be surprised if it's, like, 25%. Is that a majority? No, but it's a large amount of the active player base, I think. The rest of the player base are sort of hyper-casuals. I think anyone who is playing it, slightly more competitively, slightly more active, probably have some degree of social media, whether it's Reddit, whether it's Discord, whether it's Facebook, or so on and so forth. Next one... Message could not be loaded. I know I just responded to you 2 sentences ago. It's a very slanted view. Many free-to-play players needed 30 or 20 shards. Talking about Agatha here to unlock her. I polled other players before I made the recommendation, and they all agreed with me. It was the kindest thing to do. Mighty Thor 30 pieces doesn't unlock her, and it doesn't do much. So why are we even talking about 20 or 30 shards? We're basically talking about what the maximum that they were willing to do is. You know, realistically, they should have just chucked us 100 fucking Mighty Thor shards and be done with it. But hey, no, we got 30 Agatha shards out of randomness. And really, that felt like passive-aggressive gaslighting as well, given how long we've been waiting for Agatha to be in the orbs. And as of recording this video, she still isn't in it, but will be in there soon. Archangel, I commend you for being here and chatting with us. I really do, but this ordeal is a shite show. And I'm only glad I'm not in your shoes. Dude, I had to make a call. I asked some content creators and some players in this Discord about the Agatha stuff. I don't know who they talked to. If you were a content creator for Marvel Strike Force and you got Archangel asking you, please let me know who it was. I'd really love to know. Because, you know, I don't know who it was and I don't know what players were pulled. But hey, if any of you guys were pulled by Archangel, let me know in the comments down below. We all agreed it was the best choice. I guess maybe it was like like 10 people. You can disagree, but herein lies the problem. Everyone thinks they know the best answer. Sometimes there isn't necessarily. Either you have to choose the best of the worst options or try to figure out the best of good options. Regardless, not everyone will agree. I had the humility to take counsel on it though, so give me that at least. Was it a council of 10 players? Also, 10,000 Mjolnir fragments or riot. That's really the solution that needs to be happening right now. Hence I said you're oversimplifying things trying to be witty. Still, it's an unhealthy amount of anger over a video game. First world problems. So, our issues with Mighty Thor's event and our outcries for it, they're first world problems. There are bigger and worse problems in the world. Yes, that's true. However, that does not detract from all of the issues that happens in Marvel Strike Force, because there's a lot of them, and they need to be resolved. Archangel, are we ever getting Tower and Pocket Dimension again? Yes, we are. It's a nice and easy one. Alright, this was a super long one. And this is relating to a post about quitting, people who were saying that they're quitting, and, you know, maybe a lot are. I honestly think actually a lot of people are. So I hate to see anyone say they want to quit, but it's your right to. But if you're quitting because a small percentage of people got free stuff, then it sounds more like you were looking for a reason to stop. As a player, it doesn't bother me one bit that some people got the milestones. I mean, if it did, then why wouldn't it bother me that some rich people get to buy everything the second it comes to the game? I don't like this statement. I think it's fucking garbage. Hey-oh. It's perceived equality, right? So why does such a small number getting a few teal items and gear and a character seem less fair to you than people buying everything? Here's why, Archangel. Because people didn't have to pay for it. They got it for free. Don't fucking conflate this or compare it to real life people being rich and poor. Because that's not what's going on here. It's the fact that people don't have to work for 31 days of the event. These could be people who are brand new players. Who knows, right? Or like new players who would never have been able to get there. And so now they're getting competitive advantages towards their gameplay, which, yes, I would say to some degree there's quite a bit of competitive elements in this game, in the game modes right now. Even with Cosmic Crucible, you know, that is a competitive game mode as well, which is new. You know, I'm sure that Heroes of Guardians is not top meta there, but, you know, it doesn't matter because there's all the other rewards that are associated in the milestones that people got. On that note, new players can't participate in all the events or get far in them. Does their perceived inequality make sense? Okay, so on this note here, a lot of new players who did get the 50,000 for the Mighty Thor event would definitely not have done so anyways. I have a brand new account now, and I can guarantee you that I probably won't get more than 20,000 points. So any of these people who got 50,000 points, they would never have done so. You'd probably say to them, you have to earn your place in the game, the same as getting better in a sport or game to win. Look, I'm not looking to insult or argue. I'm just pointing out the fact that these are perceptions. You get to choose how you perceive things. I choose to not care and just play and have fun. Now, there are a lot of people out there, of course, that have this, you know, casual, you know, mentality like this, and that's fair. But there's a lot of people that are rightfully angry, and I think to detract from it is just is nonsense. You have the right to make a choice. I hope you don't choose to quit because I don't agree with that decision. If you are truly quitting because of the inbox bug, I think a lot of people are deciding to quit because enough is enough, and that Scopely, I think this is honestly a top 3 fuck up for Scopely, and that's saying something. We don't need your loyalty, you need ours. Actually, you do. That's your problem, brother. You look at me as what can I do for you, not what can we do for each other. This is a symbiotic relationship. If you are disrespectful and mean to me, I'll be less likely to feel compelled to answer you. Just common sense. So, one thing that I'll say here is that, yes, I mean, obviously, don't be mean to people. Otherwise, why would they reply back to you? Just like people who are mean to me. I'm not going to reply back to them. I mean, there's no point. So that we agree. But I do not feel that it's a symbiotic relationship. I feel that based on how things have been in Scopely and how things have been in the community manager side of things, that I think that, yes, he does have to earn our respect, has to earn our trust, and that, you know, because a lot of that was burnt down by Cerebro, because there was just radio silence for a very long time, and I think it takes some time to get that trust back. Honestly, I'm not sure if we're there yet. Am I there yet? Well, he doesn't want to talk to me anyways, but if he wants to send me a message and try to rebuild bridges, then we can have a discussion. But otherwise, you know, since I was basically thrown under the bus, you know, I'm not in a very good position right now. Okay, and finally, the last one. And I think this is actually very similar. Yes, this is actually very similar to the post on Reddit here. So, yeah, they're going to get back to us on Wednesday. Thank you to everyone who showed a lot of love. I hope you understand I care about the game and the community. I pushed for the Gambit raid keys so you could all do more of them. I'm in your corner. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Okay, so that's the it. That's the it. That's the end. This was quite lengthy. He was like on here for about 3 hours, and kudos to him for doing that. You know, I have to say that it takes some guts to do that, both for better or for worse on some of the posts. But I don't agree with every message that he replied to in the way that he did. I feel that in some instances, he still doesn't understand, you know, how to be professional about replies, whether you're on the clock or whether you're off the clock. I feel that there's just some language that you just shouldn't be using in the way that you do. There was a lot more, and I only covered like maybe even just a fraction, like a quarter of what was actually said. You know, if you have Discord and you're in the Marvel Strike Force official Discord, go in there and check it for yourself if you want, because there was quite a bit said. But this was probably the more important messages that were there, and yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments down below, guys. We're not going to hear back, apparently, until Wednesday at the bare minimum, which, unfortunately, is the exact same day that the Famine Scourge event launches for Rogue. So I'm kind of skeptical whether or not we will actually get anything at all, and from the sounds of things, that we may not get anything more with relation to the Mighty Thor event, and they've kind of swept this under the rug and under the table, because no matter if you get 2,300 upvotes on Reddit, it doesn't seem to really matter, because we're 2295 and counting. So yes, let me know if do you guys think that any change is going to come. You know, this is, I think, will be, unless something changes, this will probably be my last video for the moment on this topic. I will be moving on to some Scourge stuff for Tuesday, and then we'll see what goes on from there. So that's the end of this video. Until next time, stay safe and healthy. I'll see y'all later. Boilon signing out.